Hello and welcome to a brand new race vlog, the first race vlog of 2023. A bit of a long winter building the car. I did plan to do a few videos and whatnot of the build process, but it sort of just didn't happen over the winter. But nevertheless, we are here, we're ready to race. And as you'll see, I have two cameras set up. One facing me just for qualifying, and then the usual one behind me then. And I have a wee microphone sitting in my helmet, so I don't know how good this is going to pick up my speech, but we'll see how it goes. I'm strapped in, everything's ready to go. Pins out of my fire extinguisher, strapped, good to go. The Formula V's are just out at the minute, so we're sort of just waiting for them to finish. As far as I know, we're going to be called at some point to go down the pit lane, and we're going to wait there, and as soon as they finish we'll be straight out. So for a new race series, you know, it's been quite good. It's picked up quite well. We had 13 entries, and then one couldn't make it, so it went down to 12. So there should be 12 of us going out to qualify here now, and I'm lining up. I was quick enough to get out at the front to line up first for qualifying, so I'll have a nice clear track in front of me. I actually came up here last night. Came up last night and stayed in the track, stayed at the track, in a house right at the bottom of the circuit between Colonial 1 and Fisherman's. It's a house that the club bought and they're renting it out, so anybody that's looking for somewhere to stay that's really close to the track, just get in contact with the club. That's if it's not booked out. It's a good wee house. I imagine it's going to be booked out far in advance. I feel like my speech is different. I feel like I have two golf balls in my mouth. And my glasses are steaming up, which isn't helping. Right, that's the Formula V's coming in now. I'm going to get my engine started. Right, that's me started up. Open my door for a wee bit of ventilation. It's good to see my rear camera still on. I had a bit of bother with that camera. Whenever I was doing a track day 2 weeks ago, it would have went on for about 2 minutes and then turned off. But it's on. How's it going?
How the fuck do you get up here?
You have to be quick, you see. You have to be quick.
What's for the cable tie around here?
Microphone in there. You're on camera. Wave. You're part of a vlog now.
Oh no,
There's no backing out. You're in it.
Oh no. So anyway, good luck. I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Thank you. That'll do.
Watch the time.
Cheers. See you.
Alright.
Bye.
These look very impressive anyway.
Oh, they're a good job.
Yeah.
They're nice to drive now. Are they letting them V's out again?
Yeah. You know, a few minutes.
No bother.
Okay.
Thanks. The Formula V's are getting another 5 minutes. So I've turned my engine off again. But a bit about my car. This is a 2006 Mini 1. August 2006, I believe. And it wasn't for sale. I got it through somebody that I knew, and they just happened to have one. I think it was bought for somebody, and then it just sat there. It was never used. It sat for about a year and a half. So I bought it last December, stripped it out myself, and then a good friend of mine then done all the hard work, the roll cage, engine cut off, springs, brakes, bonnet pins, boot springs, all that sort of stuff. He done.
All good, Chris?
Aye, all good, aye.
Good.
Looking forward to getting out. So
Brilliant.
they're getting 5 minutes, are they getting?
Aye, what's your
Well, I'm doing a bit of vlogging as we speak. I have a microphone in here. That's what this cable ties about, and I have a camera there.
Brilliant.
So if you want to be on it, you can give it a. Don't need everybody. You can give it a wave. The real thing is, I started recording about 15 minutes ago, so battery-wise, I don't know. Could be dead. They could be dead, or it could be memory card, could be out of the room. I think I'll fire up the. No bother, no, thank you. See you. First qualifying session, off we go. As we blast out of the pits, I'm going to join you here with a bit of voiceover, because what I discovered whenever I went out on track is that it was quite hard to talk and drive at the same time. Whenever you're getting your braking points like I am right now, and my turn-in points and trying to hit my apexes, those are the things that sort of took the concentration, and the talking went out the window. But basically my plan was to get out first, which I did, and just try and get away from everybody, and just sort of get my own bit of track and clean air and try and pull away. But what I discovered about 3 or 4 laps in is that the person behind me was sort of catching me lap after lap. And as we go down the back straight here, we're going to cut ahead to that point now shortly. So there's Johnny Tittering, just he passed me on the back straight. I actually slowed off a bit just to get him past, and I think I slowed off a wee bit too much because I was looking to get a bit of slipstream from him, and I just wasn't able to get it. So you'll join me here now as I cross the line for what is my fastest qualifying lap. As we go through deaders, you're going through there at about 102, 103 miles per hour in the Mini. And as we brake and go down into third gear for Colonial 1, Johnny just did a wee bit of a lock up there, but that's no problem, we can still get through the turn and through Colonial 2. As we head now towards Fisherman's, you'll see me looking down. I thought I could hear some sort of sound. It sounded like fire, like flames or something, but thankfully there was nothing there. You'll see me putting my hand down again shortly now as well. But thankfully there was nothing there, it was all okay. I find it's quite hard to talk whenever you're actually driving. Quite hard to talk when you're driving, but session's going well so far. I seen Johnny Tittering was just sort of catching me there, and then the back straight he really closed up, so I waved him on past. Tried to tuck him behind him there, but it just couldn't sort of happen. So I'll just try and put in as fast as laps as I can. There's the flag. And that's the first qualifying session done for the Kirkistown Mini Cup. So I normally just drive around there, and then once we get into the scrutineering bay, we're checking my phone to see where I line up. So out of 12, hopefully I've not done too bad. From somewhere around the middle, I'll be happy enough. Both cameras are still recording now, which is good. Just looking on my phone here now, see him lined up 9th there. Not as happy with that, but sure, it is what it is. But sure, it's a new car, still getting used to it, and we'll see how we go in the race. Wee bit of an update after qualifying. was out qualified ninth, as you know, and as I think I said earlier. But I do think my tyre pressures are a bit high in the rear, possibly a wee bit high in the front too. So I'm going to run a different tyre pressure when we go out. But my camera's all set up here, front and rear. A wee bit of bother with this one, trying to get it set up. I didn't have some of the mounts I have. Some of the mounts I had broke over time, so I didn't have as many to try and get me the right position. I probably would have wanted it more in the middle, but sure, it is where it is. It'll do for these 2 races anyway. Whatever, fueled up. My battery terminal, one of them was coming loose, so I had to tighten that up as well. But we're getting there all ready for the next race. So line up 9th. Hopefully we can pick off a few people. Maybe get in the 5th or 6th place or something. It's busy day here at Kirkistown. New sponsor on this year, RDS, Roller Door Services. With M-Tech Brakes back again. We also have another new sponsor, which reminds me, it's the one here. Must get him on. It's a Parcel Collection Depot. Must get him on now before the first race. Friendly Financial back with us as well. So that's the score for now. Everything's sort of ready to go for the next race. Hopefully we can pick off a few. That's that new sponsor sticker on now, Parcel Collection Depot. Same on the other side. There's been a wee bit of a reshuffle in the qualifying. There was a couple of cars were underweight, three or four I think. So it moves me up from 9th to maybe 7th or 6th. So we'll see how we get on. That's the update at the moment. It's getting a bit, so we might see a bit of rain. We might see a wee bit of rain in the race. There's a few more monies here lined up.
I'm just going to come back on with a wee bit of voiceover here now as we finish off the green flag lap. And you'll see me weaving the tyres there, weaving the wheel. That's to get some heat into the tyres just before the race. And as I go around the hairpin here now, you know, the nerves are starting to set on. I haven't raced since last September, you know, so it's a first race meeting of the year. I'm a bit nervous, but exciting too at the same time. So that's the grid formed for the first official Kirkistown Mini Cup race. 5-second board comes out, and the lights light up, and as soon as the lights go out, that's our cue to go. Off we go. Make a relatively good start. Tucking behind Darren Gilmore here, and then I sort of just back off right about now because I just felt I'm going to get sandwiched between these two red cars, and I just sort of think better of it and just tucking behind them. So a wee bit of external footage here from Ryan Hogg, which is nice to see. So everybody's safely through Colonial 1 and Colonial 2, and we head up toward Fisherman's now. And I knew someone was just on my right hand side here, so I just gave a bit of room, and Cian O'Brien just nips up the inside there. Cian actually was on pole position. You know, he went fastest in qualifying, but he was underweight, so he had to start from the back. So quickest man on the track, if he's coming through, there's no point in me holding him up and holding myself up. So that's him away on. One of the other people who was penalised as well for being underweight was Hugh McAvoy, who we're just going to see coming in this shot now. So that's Hugh doing a nice tidy move as well down the inside of the hairpin. And that's almost one lap done. And this footage we're watching here now is actually recovered footage. I actually deleted this race by accident because the wait time before qualifying and the wait time before this race was like maybe about half an hour, so there was like an hour of footage that I didn't really need, and I had in my head that the GoPro records in segments. This particular one here records in 8-minute segments, and I thought, oh, I'll just delete a few of them on the GoPro. But it actually only puts it into segments whenever you plug it into your laptop. and when it's on the GoPro, it is actually one full clip. So I ended up deleting the full clip by accident. So recovered some of the footage, but not all of it for some reason. I don't know why. And then at some point, very soon now, the sound's going to cut out as well. I have no explanation for it, but it does. Just as two of the lads there go off at Fisherman's. Don't know if they outbreak themselves or if there was any contact there, but they went off, and that moved me up 2 places. We're going through the chicane here. There was a lot of spectators at the chicane, which was good to see. So I think the sound's about to cut out about now. So things were getting quite feisty there ahead of us. You know, good racing, good clean racing. And I think I'm going to gain another place here now, not through my own doing, but through the unfortunate mechanical failure of somebody else. So Johnny, who passed me in qualifying, had bother with his gearbox there, so that's Johnny out of this race, and unfortunately was out of the next race as well. So as we cross the line for what is the penultimate lap of my recovered footage, not the actual penultimate lap of the race, you'll notice that I've no rear view camera. But if you do remember earlier in my video, I did show you my rear view camera mounted to my roll cage, but it was mounted too low. So whenever I closed my boot, all you could see was the inside of the boot, and you could see a wee bit of outside, but it sort of just wasn't worth using. So I decided not to edit it on to this one. But before the next race, I will spend a bit of time in getting that camera set up. It would have been beneficial if I did have it though, because I did have somebody on my bumper for the whole of this race, Shane Henry, who you will see in the next race. So I'll leave it here for this one and skip ahead to race 2. But just as as one race cuts out and goes haywire, we're straight into the next one now. So race 2. Lights out and make a cracking start, and the person I was mentioning there, Shane Henry, who was on my tail all that race, had a bit of a bad start there. So as I had a great start, he had a bad one, and I was sort of boxed in and nowhere to go. I had to let off. So I got from good start to bad start there, but sure, it is what it is. So as you're going Colonial 1 and then Colonial 2, Alan Sweetman's just here on my left hand side, so he has a bit of a better run around the outside, and I go for it then at Fisherman's and just stick it on the inside and then go right out to the curb now, and that's that place gain back again. So it can be a bit hectic on the first lap going through the chicane. Sometimes you can't really see, you know, they had your apexes right. Not too sure what happened to Hugh there. Must have just went off in the grass a bit or whatever. Maybe he must have gear, but as we go towards the hairpin, he goes for a big lunge on Cian, and I sort of get the undercut on both of them and come out side by side with Cian. And then Cian just had a better drive through the hairpin and gets ahead of me before Deaders. We skip ahead and things are getting a bit tighter, and the pack, a train, is starting to form, and that's Hugh coming through again at Fisherman's. And things are definitely getting bunched up now as we go down the pit straight. And you'll see here in my video that I sort of just edit together the best bits with the most entertainment on them. If you've watched any of my vlogs from last year, you'll see that's what I do. I just edit on the best bits, and I've found that to be the most engaging way of getting people to watch rather than putting in a full race, a full 15-16 minute race. It can be very boring to watch. So I was slowly just gaining on Noel Conaghy here in front of me, and at one point I think I'll be pushing him down the pit straight. So everybody's ducking and diving, trying to get ahead of everybody else, but we're still in this mini train, is what we'll call it. And at this point here, you're going through the chicane, you cannot see where you're supposed to be turning. But we all get through safely and down onto the back straight. In the fourth gear, you're getting up to about 100 and I think it's about 105 mile an hour maybe. I'm going to try the old switchback here on Noel, but it doesn't work, but I tuck in behind him as we grab third gear. And pulling fourth just on the start finish line. So through the chicane again, and all very tight. Hugh was actually on the grass there, on the right hand side, the entry to the chicane. And it's good to see how evenly matched all these cars are. At the start of the day, the gaps and the times were a bit bigger, but as the day went on and the laps went on, people were getting quicker, and I myself was getting quicker as well. As you can see by the gaps in front, they're not big gaps. I'm going to try the old switchback again, but it just didn't work, but we are definitely getting closer inch by inch. Down in the Colonial again, and Hugh McAvoy there went off. Not sure what happened to him. He must have had some type of mechanical failure of some sort. So hopefully he'll be out for the next one. And two cars off onto the grass there. Craig Gilmore and Kieran O'Brien, who were leading first and second, had some sort of coming together. Just past Deaders. Cian was able to come back on, but Craig unfortunately didn't. Two red cars are side by side, and Darren Gilmore just gets ahead. Down the back straight once again, into the hairpin, turning in. I think this might be the lap where I'm going to just push Noel here. I think it's just about now. I'm just giving him a wee push just to say go on. And he gives me the old wave to say, come on, let's go, don't attack. And I'm giving him a thumbs up. They say, I'm not going to attack, go ahead, take your lines. You have nothing to worry about. Let's just see if we can go ahead and maybe get Darren. So we're through the hairpin for the second last time. And I think there's a move about to be lined up with the two cars ahead. Down the inside, Noel Conaghy. Darren Gilmore gives him the room there. Good racecraft and sportsmanship between the two of those lads there. And I just get a wee run on the left hand side. I think Darren was unsighted there, he just didn't see me. Or maybe he was defending, I'm not too sure, but that puts him sort of offline. He goes up over the curb, but he keeps it together. That big puff of smoke just ahead was Shane Henry, just going straight on at the chicane. He must have just locked his brakes or whatever. But as we go through the hairpin for the last time, checkered flag at the ready, and that's the end of the two races for the Kirkistown Mini Cup. So just crossing the line there in 6th place and 4th place in the race before. So very happy with my results and how I got on the day. Just going to finish up now with some photographs taken by some of the photographers who were there on the day. And I'd just like to take this opportunity now to thank my sponsors, Friendly Financial, M-Take Brakes, Partial Collection Depot and Roller Door Services for the support. I really wouldn't be able to do the racing that I do without them. So look forward now to the next one, the 27th of May, and I'll catch you then.